Hello everyone and welcome to the first video from the Yorkshire Collectors. So for my first ever video on the channel, first of all I'll introduce myself. My name's Alex. I've been collecting military collectibles for the past 3 years now, and I thought I'd start off with these lovely German Feldsprecher 33 World War II field telephones. I actually own 3 of them. One is in my display cabinet. I'm going to show off in another video. They all do work. The one in the display cabinet is probably the nicest looking, but it has the worst ringer. These are both fully working ones. The handsets work. Oh, on this one, my 1943 one back here, the handset's broken, but this one is a complete 1941 dated example made by Siemens, and it is fully operational. So first we'll just look at top of it. As you see, you've got the German phonetic alphabet. All the field phones had this. As you see, my 1943 one has the same one. And obviously, to help the whoever's radio operator, you might have this phone next to him, whoever's operating this field phone, just in case he needs to spell letters out in the field. So as you can see, Anton, Alga, Bertha. I'm not going to read them all, but generic kind of German names and stuff that are pretty well known, like Wilhelm, Zeppelin. And then I haven't figured out what these are for. There's 2 little kind of like extra writing pad areas on these. They're probably to write down like unit codes or something, but I haven't been able to actually get it checked out and find out exactly what it is. So they come in these Baker-like cases with a quick mechanism here. That's the attachment to attach more to it. Normally these field phones would all connect to wires, and the wires would go to either another field phone, or they would go to a field phone exchange back at maybe field command, or just out the front lines. And obviously the exchange wire all the different phones together to communicate. So to open it is literally just a clip. The lid slides like so, and you can see the handset. This one's been slightly restored, I think. It's an original handset. There's a very, very small manufacturer's mark there. I doubt the camera's going to move into it, but it is dated 41. You can also see a little clip here. One thing I did forget to mention about the case is this would have also had a sling. The slings are actually quite rare these days and they don't turn up often. But you can see the points for where the phone sling actually fits to the phone case. Got these rubber seals on the lid in there to kind of stop it from getting damaged. What's a very good add-on. And then there's also another shaft here, that's for the crank handle, because this is operated by a manual motor which powers the actual ringer, and the handset's powered by 2 batteries by a German battery pack, but a modern substitute for this is 2 batteries in a little battery pack. Anyway, so let's just move the handset out the way there, and let's have a look at the details, because this was a very nicely stamped. The 1941 Siemens manufacturer mark there. What's actually quite funny is I work for a company who operates trains built with Siemens, so I see Siemens stuff every day. Whenever I look at them, I can't think of anything else but my phone. As you can see, it's got quite a lot of pitting. There is some damage. The only broken bit off is unfortunately a bit of Baker-like plastic here, as the button has fell off. It's no biggie really. This is your battery compartment for your handset. Those are the 2 terminals. The phone's operated by kind of screw terminals. That's where the batteries for the handset go. Like I said, this one is operational, so if I wired the battery up to that and wired it to another phone, it will work. And these are your main terminals, the power for generator. That is your proof tester, was basically proof test. Basically check it works. We'll be using that in a second to show you the ringer. And as you can see, you've got a very lovely German Army Waffenamp mark. Don't think it's going to focus on it. There we go. Nice Waffenamp mark in good condition. You've also got wiring diagrams in the lid, and what's very nice, the Siemens manufacturer sticker kind of mark there. Yeah, the phone itself, the handset is removable. It connects via these terminals. So if I just very gently tug on it, there we go. It's literally a 5-prong kind of plug. Goes into those 5 terminals there. So the handset isn't permanently attached to the phone, unlike I've seen with some American and British ones. I do have a British one. We're going to do that in another video. Other than that, these operated by crank handle, like I said. Crank handle sits there. This one I believe is a post-war one from an East German handset. I don't think this is an original World War II one. I do have an original World War II crank handle. That is in my cabinet. It's a 1940 dated one with the phone in there. So this is going to be incredibly tricky to do with one hand, so I apologise in advance. But I'll try and wire it up in a second. So first let's put the crank handle in. There we go. Then it should hit. God, it's extremely tricky to do with one hand, this. There we go. Right, that's in. Move the handset for a minute. Open the 2 terminals. Now when I get this going, it's going to be extremely hard for me to hold the phone and crank and bring it at the same time. So if you don't get an actual view of what's going on, I do apologise. But how am I going to do this? Right. So that said, little modern battery pack kind of substitutes, but normally it would have its own power supply from another phone generator crank, but this does the job for testing it. So it's literally, it just slot in there like the wire would. There we go. That's not, it's nothing amazing, but it'll do the job for demonstration, I think. Yeah, that should be okay. Same with the black one. You can see the little hole it goes to. That electrical static noises tell me I've got power in it. That's going through the handset. Okay, so that should be connected. So I'll just move the wires, move that there for a second. I have no idea how I'm going to do this. So let's see if I can substitute something to be a kind of phone holder for you guys. I think my bottle of Jack Daniels will do the job for that. Okay, I do apologise about the mess in the background. My room's a bit of a tip, not going to lie. So I'll just move that there. I know it's not the best view in the world, but I'm sure you guys won't mind. There we go, it's a bit better. So it's literally, you get the white proof test button there, press it down, and as you can see it works. That is all original components in there. As you can see, it does have a bit of a weird kind of ding noise afterwards. It's not meant to make that noise. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, fully working. Ringer wise, just get you off that temporary phone stand. And you just got a good look at how much of a mess my room is. Next, we'll unplug this. Let's get the crank handle out. This is gonna be a bit of a task as well. Normally you need a bit of strength because you're meant to pull on it slightly as you do it. So I'll put you back down with a nice messy view of my room. This is where it becomes a bit of a pain. I normally pull on it slightly to get it dislodged because it is literally just a thread what's holding it in. Sometimes it takes a long time to get off the crank. Come on. Sometimes you just have to keep turning it till it eventually dislodges itself. Like so, I can feel it now. It's not doing it for me. Okay, well, come on. There we go. Finally. Yeah, it takes a while for it sometimes to come out again. There's no actually set method of doing it, but to reverse crank it and wait until it finally comes loose. Right, so what I'm going to do is should have got this before, so I apologise in advance. Go into my drawer, and these phones are ridiculously easy to take apart. So I'm going to grab a screwdriver and just take the main console out for you guys to have a quick nip at, because it is quite amazing when you think of the technology at the time. So ignore my arm. It is held in by two main screws. See if I can grab the phone and show you. As you can see, it's held in by two main kind of screws. Right. Then there's like a little thread at the end as well, so you have to make sure you don't lose them. It keeps losing focus now. One, as you can see, they've got like a thread at the bottom of them. Do not lose those. Those are going to go in a cup nearby me. And the other, just take the crank handle out. Very easy to take apart. The 1943 one is exactly the same, so I'll probably just open it up and give you a look at top. But I love these things a bit. Field phones have always been a main interest of mine. Right, that's the screws out. And the main thing is, normally I hold it by the terminals, just because I know they won't break. It's probably wrong, and there's going to be someone in the comment section getting annoyed at me to do it, but it's my way and it works. So normally I very gently grab hold of those. Right, I'm going to have to put you guys down again for this. So it's literally to take it out, you hold the case, grab something on the thing, and it literally normally slides out. Have I chosen the one that's a pain to get out without realising? I probably have. No, I haven't. There we go. Nice and easy. And it has actually revealed a few more stamps in the case itself for us to look at as well. So let me just manoeuvre things so we have room. There we go. Okay, so there's the case inside of the case. Some more stamps in there. Another lovely Waffen amp. There's a date stamp as well. I do apologise about the lack of lighting. I know I can turn the torch on, can't I? It's a good thing about using a phone. No, that's not the date stamp. That is. Nice Waffen amp there as well. And you can see the ports that hold it in. Right, so that's the case. That there is the main console. And to take the main console out, you grab these two pins. While also being a pain in the ass. Those kind of just slide back. And then that comes away. And there you go. There's your Siemens stamps, and got a very lovely stamp on there. With a Reich-Adler. Here's a Siemens manufacturer mark. That's your motor. That's where your thing goes in. Oh, little static shock there. That's where the crank handle goes in. Turns out that gives it power. And that there is your ringer. And on the other side of that is just the tolls for the ringer, whatever you call them. Strikers, over your strikers for the ringer. there's all your wiring. Nothing too fancy. This is World War II, but all that's original World War II internals. Hasn't been touched. So to think it still works is kind of remarkable. But yeah, there you go. It's a lovely piece of history, to say the least. It's certainly not a cheap one either, but I won't get rid of this thing for the world. I love it to bits. Anyway, to put it back in, it literally just clips back where it was before. And then this cord, yep, there we go, it's done it this time. Literally just goes back on like so. And then that's all what holds it in place. You've got two nice little kind of sound ports there. Just use. Yeah, it's fine. And to put it back is absolutely dead simple. It should just slide back in. It follows these two kind of guidelines here. So with a bit of luck, it literally, the main console is really simply designed. Yep. Literally like that. And then your two screws. Kind of amazing they had this technology back then when you think about it. You know, these days you get all these computer-aided design and all these programs. Back then they didn't have any of that. They just had box standard machinery and paperwork. So to think they can make all this is pretty wow, to be honest. Right, well, that's screws back in, so I'll just very simply screw it back in quickly. May as well do it on camera. So one there. Screw it nicely. Don't want to do it too tight, you don't want to damage the Bakelite. Come on. But yeah, like I was saying before, these would be found every single front of the war. This was basically your basic communication method for most German soldiers. You'd have one of these at most major positions, and they would all link up to telephone lines with another telephones with disconnection here and the terminals, and it would eventually end up at a field HQ where they'd have a big telephone exchange. So you crank handle again. That just sits there. Your handset itself. It's push button operated, so basically kind of like a walkie-talkie. Every time you want to speak, you hold this down to speak, and then let go afterwards. So yeah, that's what that button there is for. Kind of like a walkie-talkie. So it's like hello, like that, basically. This one is fully working. I'll try and get a video sometime when I have more people helping me with it in operation with another. And one thing, tactic, a lot of people don't know, and this is actually what this hole here is designed for. I was told this by quite a few dealers and stuff. Is apparently this little hole in the side here is actually designed to hold the wire for the handset, so it don't get damaged. So I use it quite often, as you can see. And yeah, so as you can see, just taking it apart as well was absolutely dead easy. These things were made to be fixed in the field, fixed in mud, and to be done as simply as possible. Right, that's all back together. Just one last little look at it. But yeah, that's the beautiful 1941 Siemens one. And we're already at 20 minutes. Just looking at this fine piece of history. So, this is exactly the same in all ways from that, except for the slightly different Bakelite colour. So, I'm not going to open this one up entirely to show you, but this has got all some rough bits. For example, the crank handle is an original one, what's been found as a relic and been restored enough that you can use it. It's a bit rough, it does still work though. I wouldn't say it's the best crank handle in the world, but it does the job. I don't think this one really has any major marks on the top of it, to be honest. This is a 1943 later war one, so it's been simplified quite a lot. The only major marks are actually in the Bakelite case, and I'm not going to get them out. But yeah, handset as well. It's a 1943 handset. Oh, don't want to drop it. Even though the wire is frayed there, it does actually still work, surprisingly. But exact same as the other one. Not really any differences between them. But yeah, that is the 1943 one. Not as in good condition, but not bad. That's safe in it. Yes. No, something's stopping it. Ah, I see what's stopping it. The crank handle isn't in properly. There we go. Oh no, I remember this one. It's got a knackered lock on the front of it. But yeah, that is the standard German World War II field telephone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more soon.